for highly intuitive people, for highly perceptive people, sensitive people, that means that if you don't pay attention, you risk carrying things that aren't yours. You risk bringing home with you problems to solve, emotional baggage that isn't yours to carry and that isn't yours to fix with friends, colleagues, family members. Conversations are often about how to navigate life, relationships, your business as a sensitive, perceptive human with very attuned emotional intelligence, because you notice so much. You're constantly processing. And I think with empaths, the conversation often veers towards learn to protect your energy. And I never really liked that framing, because I don't think your energy needs protection. Because I think the moment like you're giving your power away, it's like you are in charge. You get to choose what enters your field, your mind, the beliefs. Of course, in early childhood, and when we're growing up, that in our formative years, you don't get to choose that. You just really absorbing what comes in, and that shapes you. But as you grow, as you become an adult, you get to reshape that. You get to do like take stock and readjust, reshape who you want to be, how you want to show up. What are you a yes to? What are you a no to? So I think it's important that the conversation moves from protecting your energy. Yes, of course, pay attention to what you're giving your energy to. But also, I think it's much more about how much we process. Because when you notice so many things, even things you're not consciously aware that you're noticing, your system, your intelligence, your gut, your intuition, your inner wisdom is picking up. It's constantly, whether you want to call it trauma, some people say it comes from trauma, being so sensitive. Sometimes you're just born with it, but you're constantly scanning. And I think it gets to be a gift if it doesn't burden you. So many women who are incredibly smart, incredibly capable, they end up feeling exhausted. And the exhaustion is not so much about we're doing too much, but it's about exhausted energy. Energy spent in ways that weren't needed. Energy spent in situations, in conversations, in solving problems, taking on things that weren't yours to take on, and all the processing that comes with that. I think it's less about protecting, so going into this passive mode that if you do, unless you're protecting yourself, you're going to be hit, with other people's energies and emotions and moods. But I think, I think that the moment you really start paying attention to your body, you really start to land in your body. And I think this is why embodiment work, embodiment practice is a must for highly intuitive, highly perceptive people, because it grounds you, it brings you down into your core, into your center. And from that place, you are fully in charge. You don't even need to pay that much attention when you are in your body, because your body's going to tell you, we're giving too much energy there. reclaim time here, reclaim energy here. This is a no, this is a yes. Your body knows. The moment you really come home to your body and to yourself and give yourself permission to follow what you want, to say the things you want to say, all the need to protect and all that heavy processing, it really kind of fades. You don't need that as much anymore. I remember early on in my journey and during my Reiki trainings, there was a lot of fear whether I absorbed that or just developed that about being around people with negative beliefs, negative energy, or just being extra careful and rooms you enter, spaces you enter, conversations you enter. And I absolutely, that is important, but also it doesn't have to become something to obsess over, something to become obsessed about. I remember at the time I was having many Reiki practitioners as clients, Reiki masters, Reiki practitioners, energy healers, energy workers. And they were almost obsessive about the thoughts they were having, thinking that if they were having a bad thought or were allowing themselves to be in a bad mood, quote unquote, because I don't think we need to classify as neutral. It's a mood. Feel it, it moves. We're afraid that it will taint their energy and their gift and their capacity. But I mean, if we're here, it means we're humans. So the thing I kept repeating over and over, like a drill, a mental drill, allow yourself to be human and girl, land in your body. Because when you are in your body, you're in charge. You feel whole, you feel aligned, you feel, of course, it's a process. It's not going to feel delicious if you spend your whole life up in your head starting to get into your body and your felt experience. It's not going to be easy for most people. It's like when you go through a detox, the early stage, or like if you ever done fasting, water fast for a few days, the early hours are awful because you need to purge, you need to go through the things you haven't felt, the things you judged, you shamed, you suppressed, even like those bad thoughts. I mean, you're human. And if you, whatever you keep pushing and suppressing and repressing, it's gonna push harder because it's going to want to come out at some point. And that's where also a lot of energy goes. When we are suppressing and repressing so much, that's energy you're spending, or shall we say wasting. That's energy we waste if you only allowed your system, your body to process, to feel it. That's how it moves. That's how you let go. That's how we let go. We need to feel it. And to feel it, you can't think your way out of a bad mood or out of a bad day. You got to feel it and move it. Movement is a balm for the soul, for your energy, for your mindset, for your business, for your relationships. Moving your body and being with your body. Just an example. But really, I think we need to move the conversation from protecting your energy and becoming too obsessed with being a good girl, being a good like a perfect um, teacher, coach, facilitator, and giving yourself permission to be human, because there is where the gifts are. Yeah. And you know what I noticed? I thought that the source, so this is twofold. I thought that the source of my intuition was source only. You can call it God, you can call it universe, spirit, whatever resonates for you. And of course, I believe in that. I believe there's higher levels of consciousness that we access and that we get to connect to. There's angels dropping wisdom. And the more I believe that the more you are in tune with yourself and grounded in your body, the more you have capacity to access that kind of wisdom. Also, second part, you hold wisdom. You are a piece of divinity yourself. So the more you connect with this, the flesh, your bones, your blood, your DNA, your body, oof, there's so much wisdom here. And for so long, I was like, for me and for so many clients I had in my early years, it was all up here. And the funny thing is that when you are focusing on the third eye, your intuition, and just, from the shoulder, living from the neck up, it's very easy that you're going to be overthinking everything because you're living from the neck up. And also that you're going to experience a lot of neck tension and shoulder tension and tightness in here because everything is in here and nothing gets to go down and move. And you know how many gifts there are in the lower body, your sense of groundedness, your sense of belonging, your sense of trust. Trust is first center. Trust is your root center, your creativity, your sacral, your your motivation, your discipline, your sense of self, your solar, your capacity to receive, your expression. I mean, we're missing we're missing out so much if we spend most of our lives from the neck up and making decisions by having access to very limited information. Most of the information that we want, like it's all of it, all of our body. And the more you can be with whole of you and all of you, the more you get to access those layers of magic that are connected and invisible and less tangible, if you do believe in that. That's that's all from me for today. And yeah, day 26 of daily YouTube videos. If you don't know, my name is Marina, and I'm making videos every single day. If you want to go deeper, discover more resources and offers, there's the link in the description box. If you like this video, of course, let me know. Comment what resonated, like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.